Welcome back, everyone, to Game 2 here tonight between Capedogs and Mingos. We saw Mingos. I said Mingos because that's what it says on Draftable. But Mingos took Game 1 here tonight very convincingly. There were a few throws. There were a few lost team fights, of course, near the end of the game. But still, Mingos taking a very solid Game 1 here tonight against Capedogs. Once again, I'm Camcom, joined here by Sultan.
Hello, everyone. Immediately, we're seeing changes out here in the draft. Shenban immediately brought out. This was kind of what I would say was the crux of this composition, right? I mean, last game they had a Caitlyn Morgana, as well with Morg mid lane, Gragas as support, and so they had a lot of options for disengage, and they're able to just constantly siege into towers. And you saw them just build an insane advantage off of plates, early towers taken, and then snowball that with a split pusher that could just constantly answer against the set, and then join these fights, completely flipping team fights that looked lost on their head.
Yeah, Shen is one of those champions that I put into a category like with other champions like Malphite, where no matter how behind you get in laning phase, you could go 0-10 for all it matters. As long as you hit the crucial ultimate onto the right people at the right time, your champion is always useful. Blitzcrank is in that pool as well. Really, any hook champion, it's just you land the right ability and you're always useful no matter what. Shen does require a little bit more gold, so he is slightly more harder to play, but still it's like you press ult and you're going to be useful, and that is why people pick that champion. He is very nice in that way, as we do see once again Lulu banned away here once again. But again, all of these junglers have been left open. J4 once again, Xin once again, Olaf once again, Diana once again as well, and another one that I didn't mention last game, Diego.
So no surprise here. Both these teams both these teams supports like to play the Enchanter Lulu. As top of it just being such a strong pick, I mean, we saw last week some really strong Lulu-styled compositions come out, which protect the ADC. Chandler Lanier is insane, or Chandler Lanier. I keep calling to call him Chandler Lanier. All right, it's not Lanier either. My mind's just completely intic right now in draft. But either way, okay. He runs an insanely strong AD carry, and Lulu just enhances that. But was banned out by Capedogs last game on red side. Banned here by Mingos on red side. It's a champion that neither wants to give over to blue side to pick away in round 1.
Yeah, I disagree with Lulu being B1able. I don't think you can B1 her because she does have a few particularly bad matchups. Now, her bad matchups are champions that are not usually picked in competitive, most of them being AP engage or AP mage supports, which I mean, if you're picking Brand, if you're picking Zyra in a competitive game, then you're really just playing that for the vacuum matchup, and in team fights, you're going to be a lot less useful than something like a Morgana and a Caitlyn once again locked in here for Mingos, and Karma now a potential solo laner here for Capedogs.
Keep your eye on the triple flex, as you called it. Jungle Morgana still technically viable, as the Karma Jinx will be the answer. I'm going to say this isn't going to be a Karma solo lane. Karma top hasn't been nerfed, so it's a possibility we'll see a Bruiser AP in the top lane, but most likely be having another mid lane Enchanter matchup.
Yeah, perhaps it could very well just be this Morgana versus now a Karma mid lane matchup, as Mingos Morgana, I mean, I just gotta say, you're starting Darkseal and you're getting 25 Magi stacks by 20 minutes. That's a very good case for my team to ban Morgana. I don't know if Capedogs, that's enough for them to ban Morgana. Still opting for the Amumu and Poppy. I do think Amumu is also very strong, but still, you give so many stacks over to a Morgana. If she has a Leandre's, she can definitely pop your team, as we got to see a lot in game 1, as Echo now being locked in for Mingos, which makes me think it's not a mid lane Morgana again.
We'll have to see. I mean, Caitlyn Morgana, like, it's a no-brainer, like, super strong, bully lane in the bottom lane, but I mean, they played mid Morgana so effectively that I'd be surprised to see them take that away from Nick Swantek. Echo has been locked in. I mean, more flexibility within the roster. You can go top, mid, or jungle in theory, and with the Mingos, they could be going support.
It could be going support, it could be going AD carry, it could actually just be a Caitlyn top lane. We really have no idea. It could honestly be a Ryze locked in here on R5. Who knows where that's going? It is also a 5-way flex here for Mingos. Unfortunately, Ryze was nerfed on this patch for today, so I'm not expecting the Ryze quite the Ryze level here in this game too. But you do have a Nautilus locked in, which again just makes me think, where is Morgana going?
Gonna have to be Morgana mid with Echo jungle. I'm calling a top laner here as the final pick for Mingos. Giving them that counter pick in the solo lane, super strong. On top of Nautilus, Caitlyn is like the other bully matchup because you can pull people into Caitlyn traps and just snare them for years with the passive. So not surprised to see that either. Very strong pick and arguably probably better than the Gragas in almost all cases with this composition.
Yes. I am definitely going to agree with you there. Nautilus does not have as much disengage as a Gragas, but what he lacks in disengage, he has like 10x of an engage, right? So you do have both of the solo laners here locked in for Capedogs, which also does lock in Karma for support. So you're going to have a lot of AP damage once again in the mid lane, not quite to the level of a Seraphine healing, but again, what you lack in healing, now you have in damage as...
This is Linear special. He's locked in before. He's countered a Gangplank with it. Gnar, I think, is going to be a little tougher. You know, he has the range. I mean, obviously, Vayne will win out if they just auto each other straight up. But in theory, Gnar has tools that he can help deal with the Vayne. One thing that's awesome, though...
In theory.
Or at least it's not awesome if you're the Jarvan player, is that Vayne can... If you Cataclysm Vayne, she condemns you into your own wall and then tumbles out of it. So it's very strong in that regard. And with all the terrain generation on the side of Capedogs, I wouldn't be surprised to see it used against them.
Yeah, once again, the B1 Jarvan kind of backfiring here, but this time it is for Capedogs, as the only champion that can't really get out of the Cataclysm here is Nautilus. And if you're prioing Cataclysm on a Nautilus, then that is a whole separate issue, as you have a Black Shield on Morgana, Caitlyn can E out of it, Echo, you can E or ult out of it, and then obviously Vayne, like you just mentioned, E or Q out of it. So it's just Cataclysm that should be this very powerful ability, especially to lock down members in team fights. It's negated by pretty much every single member of Mingos.
I mean, yeah, there are still options for the J4, I'll say. The EQ preemptive flash combo, where you bring the knockup with your model's hitbox onto a target, following up into an auto, and then at that point, hopefully your teammates can bring some form of CC so you can use Cataclysm to follow them through their dash.
Yes.
But again, it does make things so much harder for J4. I think Echo is going to have a field day this game with the immobile targets here on Capedogs for him to set up his shield onto, and that might be, just being able to teamfight combo with either a Morgana binding or, just being able to like line up with so much CC on this team. I feel like he's going to have a great time in the jungle.
Yeah, it's Echo jungle. It's not quite the level of Caitlyn top. It is Vayne top here. Unfortunately, I was hoping for the Caitlyn top and Vayne AD carry, but unfortunately it is the classic, once again, Caitlyn Morgana bot lane. We didn't get to see it in game one as it was a flex to mid lane, but here we will get to see the power of the Morgana Q into trap, into binding, into all of the CC that nobody ever wants to see. But for the bot lane of Capedogs, you have a Mantra E on Karma, you have traps on Jinx, you do have a lot of disengage between them, and you don't have as much potential engage. I mean, maybe, but still, it's just... I'm thinking it's Morgana support. It's not all support. It's still all go win. If you land a Q, someone's gonna die.
280 carries to answer here. I will say Anivia being on the table is extremely powerful into double AD carry compositions, because she can just drop that zoning ultimate, and as long as she can avoid being CC, which will be very difficult against this composition, she can prevent them from being able to get into the fight. Cataclysm plus Gnar, the old Narvin combo, as I've heard it called before, on top of Nivea's zoning tools. I mean, there's a lot going here for this team composition. The question will be if Capedogs can retain or nullify the lead that Mingos got last game in the early game, still come out strong with their early game of their own, and then continue to just look for crazy team fights. I mean, Jinx, I would say, probably the best AD carry at just being a 1 versus 5 carry, as long as you have enough tools to set her up for that success. And with the Karma locked in, she has what she needs to just run around like a maniac in these team fights and pop off.
Yeah, this is a very strong protect the Jinx team comp here for Capedogs. I think it's on the back of the like unofficial Quadra slash Penta that Confounder found in the last few minutes of game 1. It's just like, okay, if you're able to do that in a game that we're 10k gold behind, imagine what Confounder is going to be able to do in this game 2 here when you have a comp specifically built to keep him alive, and especially through this early game here, a lot of them are there for that early game damage. The Gnar, the Jarvan, a little bit of Karma and Anivia, but they're there much more for the mid to late game to match Jinx's potential scaling. So there is a nice insurance factor there in the Jinx and the Anivia. And once again, Jarvan, he's got the early game damage. Maybe the mid to late game won't be as strong because of how many dashes and get out of jail free cards Mingos has, but he's still nice in the engage.
Let's look to see what they can do here in the early game. I'm expecting a lot more bot focus from both these teams.
Yes.
With the Nautilus locked in for that heavy engage. And on top of that, Jinx just being demanding of resources. But we will be right back here with Excellency Mid-League Fall Split 2021 Week 6 as Game 2 coming right up here with Glacial Mingos looking to make it a quick 3-0 against Capedogs Valor.
Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we bring to fall the giants?
Welcome back, everyone, to Game 2 here tonight. Capedogs currently 0-1 to Glacial Mingos. Once again, I'm Camcom, joined by Sulpan here tonight. I have to speak very quickly because Songi already forced the flash away from the hook there from Gabe.
Immediate flash for flash, and I talked about in pregame how strong the J4 flash on top of a target using the active hitbox off the back of an EQ can be early game. But that won't be an option for the first 5 minutes of the game, as immediately blown there by Gabe, just forcing the flash on the Nautilus.
Yeah, no flash on this early game jungler, right? Especially against an Echo. Adam, he doesn't really have that powerful of an early gank, especially compared to a J4, right? J4, he just has a much better pre-6 clear and gank, and now missing that flash limits him in terms of invades as well as these early pre-6 ganks that you definitely did want to go for in draft phase.
I'm making things just a little bit harder on him, but either way, I'm still expecting some early game shenanigans here from Zong. You saw what he was able to pull off last game, was able to get Capedogs off to an early lead that just was unfortunately thrown away kind of in a few small razor's edge teamfight blunders that just barely edged out in favor of Glacial Mingos. So this game, J4 coming back strong. I'll just see if he can create those same advantages for his team.
Yeah, it is also important to note here, Nick did not start the same Dark Seal start on the Morgana mid lane this game. He did go for the more usual Doran's Ring first item. It is not going to be as exciting as a Dark Seal, but it is not going to be as risky either, as of course Dark Seal did get nerfed. You do lose 5 stacks on every death now instead of 4, which is a very large nerf to an item that otherwise could have been built almost every game by a lot of mid laners.
Already see why Vayne is the scourge of top lane for every single person who plays this, but great engage.
Great hook landing there onto the Karma. That is the power of the level 2 power spike of a Caitlyn Nautilus, right? Is you land a hook, it could very well turn into a kill. It was just a little bit unfortunate that the trap was like half a second off.
And just bully lanes here in top and bot, you really kind of just directs your attention over to mid, but even early game, King Lothos is going to get shoved in hard by this Morgana. So there's invade opportunities if Echo wants to go for them. Problem is, obviously, Adam on this Echo will be much weaker, like you said earlier, than J4. So much harder to try and go for either any kind of Skull Crab congestion or even just stealing away at camp. But Zong is in prime position here.
Yeah, Zongi once again does not have flash on the J4, but it doesn't even matter as you still have the Black Shield available on Morgana, is still going to flash away from that EQ. Adam now coming in for a counter gig here onto Zongi, but not quite going to go in off the W as the sun does miss just a little bit.
And with that, it'll be a handshake on Scuttle Crabs. J4 pass towards bot side a bit. I mean, honestly, with the position of this Caitlyn not, he could just go straight into the gank, but looks like with classic jungler tunnel vision, gonna be off for the Scuttle Crab instead. I'd do the same.
Yeah, that is the trading of Scuttle Crabs. That is something that we did not actually see in Game 1. Game 1, it was Zongi securing both of them after Adam. Adam did the Blabber Cloud9 shenanigans. We're cosplaying C9 here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But luckily, we did have a nice 315 Scuttle trade instead of the flashing in, missing smite, and then dying.
Yeah, and here you actually see Adam Suzuki discovering that Zongi's got a interesting clear on Jarvan. He, again, clears only red bottom side and then clears the entire blue side jungle. So there's just nothing there for him to try and steal away. Just going to be forced to recall. Did get a deep ward down, which will help out in protecting Nick Swantek as well as TJ Linear there on the Vayne.
Yeah, and in 30 seconds here, you do have that first Ocean Dragon spawning. We did see Capedogs take a very early first and second dragon in Game 1 here. So in Game 2, I could definitely see something very similar happening, but especially on the bot lane, when you're laning into a Caitlyn Nautilus, it is a lot harder to find early pressure, but despite me saying that, they're still managing to do it and could very well look for an early dragon.
Actually, some answers back here from the Jinx and Karma lane. I was gonna call out Chandler and Gabe as being just absolute bullies once again here, but good setup and a gank here from Adam.
Yeah, Adam is going to find the gank here onto Karma. Flash coming out from Gabe as well. First blood fallen for Gabe and a potential first dragon coming out from Mingos here as well.
You know what? He burned his flash on 2 different occasions to try and pick up a quick hook. This time it pays off. He's able to land easily there on an Namase Kumari. I mean, just a great flash hook to set up the entire team to come on down, and really unfortunate timing. I mean, they have that ward in that river bush, which was good there for Mingos, but like their bot lane just wanted to walk up and try and get some vision of their own down, but it was just at the most improper of timings there, as coming straight over the wall, Adam Suki sets it up, and Gabe knocks him down.
Yeah, what? I mean, it was just an amazing hook from Gabe. Like, he committed his flash. He knew he was going to hit it. He was able to hit it. And yes, maybe it is a first blood for Nautilus, right? But you see first blood for Nautilus get you a very early Merc Treads, and using those, he's able to go in here once again onto Karma, forcing out her flash. And if there was an Ignite on her head, she would have been dead right there as well.
Yeah, blink and you'll miss it there, honestly. That's still a Doran's Caitlyn. She has had the chance to back, so that like a slight more increase in damage from either of these champions would have been just enough to take her down. But right there, that'll be a Karma most likely forced to back, I'd say. As sitting under the tower against Caitlyn, you're going to be at high risk. Protect your... Oh, nope, it'll just be a kill.
Oh, just going to be a kill bot lane. Meanwhile, Zongi going for yet another scuttle play up here top side. Not going to find the smite for himself. Meanwhile, Nick taken very low in terms of mana, but not quite in terms of health there in the mid lane.
Be rough here, as once again it'll just be this Caitlyn picking up more plays, but they want the dive.
They want the dive, but Confounder sitting no mana and no HP just about here on the Jinx. He's gonna flash away. Gabe taking a real low TP, coming out from Demon Prince here now as well. Chandler sitting level 5, sitting flashless now on the Caitlyn, and he's just ulted into the wall. No auto coming out. Demon picking up himself the first kill of the game, and Nautilus unfortunately falls to Zongi as well.
Yeah, some slight overcommittal here. They had plates in their sights, but they wanted more. Co-founder able to find the outplay there underneath the tower. Burns both summoners for it, but insanely well played, as his health bar was one auto from going down, played perfectly to avoid any kind of auto from the crazy range of that Caitlyn, and managed to sort of keep himself alive, allowing Demon Prince to pick up that kill.
Yeah, now we get to see the gold is just, it's just TJ Chandler topping the charts, Confounder trying to find his way up there as well. I don't believe the champions are right. I don't think there's an Ezreal in this game, but that is from last game, as now once again we have Karma versus Echo now in the bot side river, as Gabe looking for this hook, does not have flash available, going to just about go wide. Adam finding himself a kill, but still sitting level 5 on the Echo, going to be forced to flash away, does not have ultimate available quite yet. Gabe missing that hook, finding himself in a 1v4, and he's gonna be falling to Elo.
That is the worst feeling as a Nautilus player, when your hook just barely goes wide, and instead of going half the distance towards the enemy team, you go a full straight into 4, as well as no aftershock proc and nothing to keep you safe there. Immediately gets blown up by 4. Another slight overextension here, and I'm sure Capedogs are feeling happy about that one.
Yeah, that is the, like, you go into a bush. They didn't even have a ward in that bush. Gabe, he presses Q. He just sees 4 people around him, and he's like, oh, hi guys. How are you doing here tonight? And it's just an unfortunate situation for him. He does fall, but still they are so far ahead in the bot lane. Here is TJ, no mana on the Vayne, gonna be rooted by the Karma, and there is just nowhere left for him to run, as he did have flash available, so he does just about make it out with his life there. But if there is another gank from Zongi, he is walking up the top side, then that could very well be a dead Vayne.
Yeah, I almost thought that was going to be a dead Karma walking in, level 5 to level 8, but TJ Lanier only had the Zerker's Greaves, so good understanding of the power levels there, knows he could just walk up and get that snare on down without taking too much damage, and Confounder getting dove once again.
Confounder is just not allowed to play bot lane whatsoever in this game. Excellent CC combo there from Gabe and Chandler, able to pick himself the kill. Meanwhile, solo kill coming out in the mid lane from Nick.
Man, talk about bad feelings from Nautilus. Talk about a bad feeling as an AD carry. You're sitting bot lane underneath tower against 2 lane bullies who can easily dive you. Your Karma, Roman got a kill, that's great, you're happy about that. But unfortunately gets killed off in the mid lane, so just bad timing there to try and move back towards bottom side. I mean, Confounder's only choice there honestly would have been to just give up an entire wave, and as an AD carry, you almost never want to do that.
Yeah, and I mean, you already see the CS difference coming out, right? It's Chandler up 30 CS over Confounder. That is extremely rough for Capedogs, as this entire composition, once again, is built around getting Confounder ahead. And right now, he has almost the least amount of CS on the team, just excluding Demon, who, I mean, up here, he's playing just as much of a bully lane up here in the top lane, as well as you see a potential gank in the top lane from Zongi, but meanwhile in the mid lane a little bit of a fight, as well as TJ pops that third auto, and Zongi going in for the double stun, immediately exhausted and just blown up before the Cataclysm is even able to come out. Now Demon is forced to run away for is like just about able to jump it out.
Yeah, that was me rough almost no matter what. Narbar was just not there to be able to follow up with the crazy Narvin combo. Zongi landed a great 2-man knockup, but just looking at the health bars, you kind of knew how that one was going to go if the Gnar had fully committed. Ends up managing to escape, and TJ managed to draw out the exhaust from TJ Linear, but it's another big win here for Mingos, as Vane's be happy to eat up another kill.
Yeah, you give one kill to a Vayne in the top lane, and she's going to take all of them for herself. As you see Chandler down in the bot lane, he takes a Gale Force at 11 minutes into this game. Mythic item already for the Caitlyn, as once again, yet another hook going to be landed on the Karma. But ooh, even saw the Karma's Chandler. He's almost gonna go down. Confounder finding himself that shutdown. Gabe taking down real low here, but nice hook out, able to walk it out. In the end, just a 1-for-1, but hugely in favor of Capedogs.
And there you go. There's Confounder getting his first of the game. Absolutely massive for Jinx's. Again, once she hits that 2-3 item spike, you'll just be popping off in team fights with those get exciteds, and she's got enough damage on her team composition that she doesn't have to be the person who's dealing the first chunk of change on those damage charts. She can kind of sit back and just wait for Quillon's big burn, come in late, and then just absolutely pop off with the get excited. Nick Swantek's out of mana here and walking forward. I'm not sure if this is the move.
I think Nick was trying to stall the first tower, but on the top side, TJ was actually able to secure first tower for Mingos right before the bot lane pop. This Chandler flashing in. Perfect combo on the Caitlyn, only for the kill to go over the Nick.
I just saw his name tag briefly switch to FSN Saver there. Flashing forward on the Caitlyn. Bold move, but he knew that there's, I mean, it's the folly of Jarvan. He uses 2 abilities to do anything in the game, and once those are down, you kind of know he's got nothing left in the tank. He's just gonna go for the flash. He knows the Caitlyn damage, and that wasn't even lethality. That was just Gale Force doing what it needed there for Chandler Clark to pick up that kill.
Yeah, and that is the power of the 11-minute Gale Force, right? Is the Mythic being there so early for Chandler means that he can start building the full boots for himself as well. Not something that Zongi has, as he doesn't even have boots for himself quite yet. Still trying to just build that Mythic as Dragon, almost stolen away from Mingos there, picking up that first Infernal for themselves once again.
Yeah, you're lucky they nerfed those Jinx rockets on objectives. As Founder had a really good timing on that one, actually. Yeah. I think just good smite there by Zongi to ensure that was going to get secured, but here's TJ Linear looking aggressive on a Demon.
Yeah, he popped that ultimate there onto Demon. Meanwhile, here in the bot lane, once again, Karma taking out real low. Chandler finding yet another kill for himself. Confounder doing a lot of damage, able to make it a 1-for-2 before he falls. Meanwhile, TJ might have played just a little bit too far here. Immortal Shield Bow is popped, doing a lot of damage onto Zongi. Maybe 1 or 2 autos might have turned it around, but Demon able to pick up his second kill of the game.
Man, it must have just the patch where they didn't allow Vayne to tumble through the walls. I'm pretty sure I just saw him try and get through that Cataclysm, but he couldn't get through. So Zongi was able to pick that one up. Good Cataclysm over the wall. Knows that TJ Linear had burned the final hour, and there wasn't much left for him to try and use onto the Gnar, as well as Demon just getting good poke onto the Vayne there. So plenty of damage. They were able to lock her down. And that is 1 more kill going over towards the Gnar.
Yeah, and now Capedogs, they are just down almost 4,000 gold here. You do see the gold graph there at the bottom of the screen. Still very much in favor of Glacial Mingos, but again, you have a very large insurance policy on Yeetlope and on Confounder. With both of these very heavy scaling members, they're not particularly an early game team outside of their top side. So if they are able to continue surviving and continue finding these 1-for-1s going into the mid and late game, Capedogs still have a very solid chance of winning this game too.
Absolutely. They have rotated this Jinx back towards the mid lane, as somehow, some way, they managed to take bot lane tower first against the Caitlyn, which is an impressive thing in its own right, as Demon Prince is going to get chunked to half here as he walks up into Chandler. All you want to have happen with your solo lane split pushers. Confounder's going to look to continuously farm up here in mid. Should be protected well enough by this Karma and the J4.
Yeah, and I mean, Karma, man, he's just not had a good time on this Karma game right here. Every time he goes for a ward, he gets picked by a hook, he gets picked by a Morgana bind, he gets picked by a trap. It's just unfortunate after unfortunate situation, and now you look at him and you're like, well, this was supposed to be the #1 member to help Confounder get ahead, and despite that, Confounder has definitely still been able to get ahead as I didn't see a Vayne there. There was no Vayne there. He
Thanks for the leash, bro.
He tried to take blue buff, wasn't actually his blue buff. It was declared a bind by Yeetloaf. Meanwhile, 2v2 coming out here in the bot lane. Adam wants to find a part for himself, but Demon gonna be popped immediately. Gabe looking for a double kill here on the Nautilus. Zongi trying to run away, but unfortunately not quite fast enough. Meanwhile, here in the top lane, Confounder making a name for himself on the Jinx right before he goes shut down again.
Man, Nick Swantek's Morgana. It wasn't the pick I was expecting this week, but he's popping off on this. 1 versus 2 in the mid lane. He picks up the double kill and did go down to the Jinx there in the end, but across the map, Glacial Mingos are just making the plays outside of that blue buff leaf for Teach Linear.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, again, he got a double kill for himself right there on the Morgana right before he fell. It was just unfortunate that Confounder was still able to find a kill, despite that being, I do believe, a 2v3 in favor of Mingos. So just Confounder, no matter how far you put this man behind, there might be a 10k gold lead for one team. He is still going to manage to find these kills. You see, he is sitting 1.5 items, significantly more gold than the rest of his team, as you see. Yeetloaf just about trying to catch up with just Confounder and then the rest of his team.
Yeah, this gold chart checks out. Confounder 1k down, about half an item behind this Caitlyn at all times. And to his credit, with less resources, he's finding these kills and keeping himself in the game. And honestly, the entire weight of Capedogs is on his shoulders right now. King Yeetloaf, yes, he has the damage, but you're really looking at the consistent DPS from this Jinx. Here's a flash engage in top lane.
Flash TP from Nick and found nothing from the Q, but excellent Black Shield there onto TJ into the Q. Nick finding himself yet another kill on the Morgana, but TJ taking him real low on the Vayne and does not have quite enough attack speed to find another kill onto Demon, as Nick now finds himself in the 1v2, gonna be stunned up, does not have another Black Shield available, popping that ultimate to try and find a little bit extra damage, goes golden for just 1 second before finding a shutdown given over to Confounder. The same story found for Adam.
That's 2 shutdowns on Jinx. That's not what you want to see. Amazing play there by King Yeetloaf. I mean, you saw that Nick Swantek wanted to play for keeping the Gnar alive. He just drops the ult and just prevents Nick Swantek from pursuing. He still wanted to try and greed for it, so he walks into an Anivia zone, and after that, you just kind of knew it was over for him.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, he went for it. I respect it. He went for the TP. He saw the Q across the map somehow. He went for the TP. He went for the flash play. It was just maybe just a half second too late, right? As you see TP coming out now from Demon, looking for an engage here onto Gabe. Once again, the only member not able to secure his way out of the Cataclysm. Finally going to fall on his own shutdown, over to Yeetloaf, and now it is just TJ and Chandler, 280 carries versus the world. How much damage are they going to be able to do when they are just permanently walled away by the Anivia? Second dragon falling over to Capedogs, but Glacial Mingos could still be looking for the engage. It is a 4v5 in favor of the Capedogs.
No Narbar.
Adam just, he unfortunately did miss that Echo W, so I don't think they're looking for it anymore.
I thought that maybe that right off the back of Demon Prince going back into Mininar, they were going to try and jump on in, but really they don't have any hard commit buttons without the Nautilus there, right? They can try and set up something with the Echo, they can try and look for a Morgana binding, but there's no way for them to just dash forward and pick all of that up, as Zongi, a man after my own heart, gives away the camp to the AD carry. What a hero.
What a hero. I mean, Confounder, this man, he's putting the whole team on his back right now. He's saying, all right, guys, we lost game 1. You know what that means? We win game 2, and he is trying for it real hard right now, as now Rift Herald could potentially be falling to Mingos. I think that was actually secured by Meatloaf right there with that excellent E from the Anivias. They're just, unfortunately, not able to actually pick up the Rift Herald, but making sure that Mingos doesn't do it is probably better for the mental rift.
I managed to get it right before Baron spawned. So either, I mean, I guess Mingos could have just gone for the auto onto the back of that Rift Herald and they would have gotten it for themselves. But they were kind of like they're looking to play for the zoning, trying to make the Anivia overcommit for it or the J4, and in the end, able to just pretty easily escape. But here's an engage on a linear.
Shirelius is popped there by Karma Flash coming up from Demon as well, putting so much into TJ, just trying to find one kill for themselves. Meanwhile, on the top side, you got the rest of the Mingos looking to find the same onto Yeetlov.
Retribution for top laners everywhere as Vayne falls. It's getting flashed, knocked into the wall. Crowd control change for days, and a great move here by Nonce. I'm gonna go with Nonce for coming up, finding the roam, and finding the kill there on Vayne.
Yeah, TJ just has not had the same level of Vayne gain that we have gotten to see from him before, as he did finally complete that Phantom Dancer here at just 20 minutes into the game, as this blue buff has been more of a center for team fights than all of the dragons and the Rift Heralds in this game. I mean, this top side blue buff, man, has really been game deciding in both games.
I mean, yeah, Glacial Mingos has got the ward coverage for it, and here's another engagement on our 10th tower.
Oh no, Adam immediately forced to use that Echo Ultimate, trying to get away, but still gonna be CC'd up by the Karma Zongi, taken real low, not quite able to pop that Zhonya's quite yet, as Adam does not have the Echo Ultimate available. Again, if they do find the engage, still trying to go in as the game is frozen.
Man, these teamfights once again are on a knife's edge. I feel like Capedogs have managed to bring it close enough, and here's another fight. Nar's out. I think Camcom's mic may have bugged out during the team fight excitement. Are you back?
I think I am back. The team fight, the second that the Gnar died, I think it just, my computer decided that my internet had to die as well, as Mingos, it looks like, found a 3-4-0 for themselves, and now we're taking a Baron. I have no idea what happened in the team fight. I'm very sorry.
It's all good. It was basically really good timing from Mingos and a little bit of an overshoot from Capedogs. Narbar went out, immediately found the engagement onto the backline, and just picked up enough kills to easily secure a team fight for themselves. And immediately picking up the Baron off the back of it, it's Glacial Mingos putting themselves in prime position to try and get a massive advantage here in the mid game.
Yeah, another great lead here in the mid game. Like you're saying, found by the Mingos. We saw it a little bit in game 1 as well. You give Mingos one objective, one dragon, one Rift Herald, one Baron, or any combination of those, and it just they find the snowball leads out of it. Or you make one simple mistake and you're just punished so hard for it, as you saw, like you're saying, the Gnar bar that I unfortunately did not get to see. I guess that Gnar bar was also my internet bar as well. So once that ran out, the game just exploded.
Yeah, just been unlucky. I mean, what can you do, right? For Nars, what you have to do is make sure you're calling for your team to disengage the instant you see your Gnar bar getting low enough. Optimally, right, you want to start the fight in Mega Gnar so you can kind of combo in, get deep into the backline, make sure you can land an extremely effective Gnar with the Narvin combo on top of that as well. But right there, I mean, that's just clean team fighting from Mingos. I mean, they know what they have to do to win these fights. Zongi and Demon unable to find their combos, and despite having the 5v5 composition once again, it is just Glacial Mingos having the gold lead here. We'll have to see what they can do, as Dragon Soul won't be up and no Elder Dragon will be spawning for quite some time here in this game.
Yeah, Mingos, they do have a few throws, right? But they have held the gold lead in their favor so strongly for the entire game. As Zongi, he goes in for the engage, and with 0 follow-up, instantly gets popped by Chandler. And now Adam could be looking for an engage as well here, but the rest of Capedogs, they're disengaging. TJ split pushing up here up top lane, and meanwhile, it's just going to be the second dragon falling over for the Mingos.
And I think TJ Lanier might actually be in some trouble here as well.
Oh no, TJ, he might have stayed a little bit too long here, as he's taken up real low, is able to flash away, as well as the Immortal Shield bow being popped, but still, it's just, he's got a lot of fancy feet work right here, as he flexes the mastery, and he might have actually just about managed to make it out alive. He's got 1 HP if this Q does let, oh! It's the Jinx ult from base. That is not the person you wanted to die to.
Man. It was almost some ankle-breaking gameplay there, but it's another engage from Jarvan.
Another engage from Jarvan. Zongi once again instantly being blown up when he decides to go in and Confounder. The member you don't want dead on Capedogs also falls to the same fate. Now Chandler is going to be hit by the stun though, but Adam going right back onto the Anivia cave landing. Once again, another excellent hook, but Demon and Adam could find themselves in a 1v1. No mana remaining on him. He does not have flash either. Double kill coming out for the Gnar.
Yeah, that's massive. I mean, again, another fight in the base 1 here. As Confounder was also able to pick up that Super Mega Death Rocket kill onto Lanier. It's just a little bit more for the Jinx. The Mingos still have this massive lead, right? But the kills are going on to the right people to make Capedogs comeback happen.
Yeah, and we do get to see the individual gold graph here as well, as you see Chandler still topping it by almost 2,000 above Confounder, the next highest gold member in the game, really. So that is just a solid item, almost item and a half above the rest in the game, all 9 other members, and that is the power of a Caitlyn. Unfortunately, it is not as high of a scaler as someone like an Ezreal or, of course, the Jinx, but still having that much gold on your AD carry is exactly where you want it if you are Mingos.
Pretty happy to pick that one up as Baron once again in 2 minutes, but with the Super Minions here in mid lane and no really true objectives to fight over, I'm looking to see Mingos set up some kind of 4-1 play again. I mean, you've seen the attention that Lanier manages to draw for himself and the resources Capedogs have to spend to take him down. He's 1-5, but this is the best 1-5 Vayne I've seen in a long time.
It is, as
Dead, by the way.
there was no karma in that bush. I did not see a karma in that bush. Did you see a karma in that bush?
I feel like you're trying to Lake Lagoa me. Similar engage from Zongi here on the Nick Swan tech.
Zongi, I mean, once again, I didn't see a J4. He was on the map, maybe, but on the screen, absolutely not. As TJ going in for the engage 1v3 for himself as well, pops the passive, but pops nothing else from Capedogs. He's fallen once again, and Nick left all alone is going to Zanya's through the Jinx ult, but just autoed down yet again, and almost could be forcing out that flash there from Confounder. Nick surviving for a ridiculously long time as shutdown does finally fall to Demon, but look at your bot lane, look at your base, get lost to inhibitors.
Yeah, luckily they got King Meatloaf to eat these waves. So he's happy to grab some more farm for himself. 4-0-4 in the Nivea has not died yet, but he did just lose his passive, so he'll be a lot less safe. I'm seeing a lot of engages from Zongi, just what it feels like at the wrong time. Yes, your team's getting the kills, but it feels like he's arriving to the fight a little bit too early, but this might be a good one.
Yeah, this might be a good one. It does force the flash out from Chandler. Adam also being used that ultimate as well. TP coming in from your Yeetloaf as well now, as unfortunately just no actual engage foul, but you did get a couple crucial flashes.
Well, we got a few more seconds to make something happen here. Nyx Montek's got that teleport, and the rest of the team is collapsing. You got Caitlyn and the Vayne in the wings looking to set up for his red buff. Who gets it? Chandler.
And that is exactly who should be getting it. Zongi once again finds another huge engage onto the backline. No follow-up available though. He's almost popped instantly, but not quite the same this time as Vayne on the opposite side of the fight. Trying to do the same for himself. You almost hit him, but not quite enough. TJ, he's still in the wave. He's doing the Danny things. He's trying to make a name for himself, but unfortunately, he does not have enough damage to kill Confounder right before he falls. Now it's a 4v4 the mid lane, and Glacial Mingos, they lost one of their AD carries, and they don't want to re-engage. Instead, looking to take that Baron.
We're making LCS references today, right? You remember that time that Huni flanked on Lush? That's what it felt like right there. When the enemy team has Maokai to flank and you got Lush covered. I mean, Vayne, yeah, she had some presence there. She was drawing a lot of attention, but in the end, you were just too far away for your team to follow up on you. You're not tanky enough. You don't have sustain to fight 4 members just free hitting you. So it almost immediately goes down there. And while he did almost trade onto the Jinx there, him falling yet again and getting another kill over to Confounder is not a great look here for the Mingos. And there is still a chance that Capedogs has to win this one.
Oh yeah, 100%. You look at Yeetloaf, he is still deathless on this Anivia, by the way. He has not died once in this almost 40 kill, 29-minute game, right? So that is a lot of domination stacks that you are missing for the members of Mingos here, as Zongi I think Songy's dead. He's just gonna be dead. Now it's a 4v5 in favor of the Mingos. Looking for the engage here, are not able to find it. Elof absolutely blowing up Adam, but once again, double kill coming out for Chandler. Now, again, it's just a 3v3. Who's gonna land the first CC? Goes wide from Nick here, but still does so much damage as he does not have another ultimate available here. Oh, that is the bird. Finally popped, shutdown falling for him as well. And now Nick, he's the only one left, and I don't think he's gonna want to turn it.
Inhibitors are starting to respawn here too, so while they have no more towers and there is a Baron on the other team, they're going to be able to hopefully dissuade Nick Swantek and TJ Lanier from taking down these inhibitors on their own. They just got to clear this bottom wave. You see poor Karma trying to hold on to this one with the shields, but just getting chunked out little by little as Jinx is forced to respond up here to Nick Swantek, and with the Vayne pushing towards mid lane, they're going to give up something.
Yeah, they're gonna give up something as Nick, he might just have to give up his life here. He goes Zhonya's for just a little bit, but once again, Zhonya's just gives Confounder yet another kill here as he could finally fall here to TJ, but he's been CC'd up. Zongi doesn't have that Cataclysm available once again as he's fallen once again to TJ here as well. TJ take it solo, finally going to be going down here as well, and Gabe follows suit. Double kill coming out once again for him though.
Confounder picks up a double kill, and again, Capedogs is keeping themselves in the game, and all the gold is going to the right person here to do it. Confounder now topping the charts over Chandler, but he's got 3 members that have more gold than him, and he's got to worry about that. The rest of his team struggling to keep up with their respective members of Glacial Mingos, but right now, it's the Confounder versus Chandler show.
It really is. It is just a battle of the AD carries, the battle of a century. 30 minutes into this game now. You look at the AD carry champions, you see Jinx, she's 11-5-7. You see a Caitlyn 12-5-9, and you just think, I wonder who scales better. Is it going to be the late game hyper scaling, or is it going to be the early game bully that it might just start falling off here at past the 30-minute mark?
Caitlyn's got a really wacky curve. I mean, in my mind, she serves really weak at like levels 1 through 3, really strong around like level 8, and then falls off a cliff for a little bit of time before becoming really good like late game. But here's Chandler in a side lane. It happened again.
Oh no, it happened again. But Zongi, where did he go? But I mean, I don't know where anyone went, honestly, right there as Adam, he is able to pop that passive there from the Anivia. TP coming in, though, might just be able to save her life as TP is quickly followed suit by Nick, but he's TPing right into 5 members. Double kill once again coming out for Confounder. TJ is not able to match that damage and unfortunately is going to leave Gabe to die once again. Triple kill for Confounder at 32 minutes into this game, too.
Man, it doesn't matter who wins. Mingos games never seem to disappoint here. It's a crazy comeback in the wings for Capedogs. A little bit of an end play there on that team fight. And you see how strong this Caitlyn is right now. That was a 1,283 damage auto. J4 doesn't really build many resistances, only has the... It actually opted for Merc Treads this game too. So no armor on the J4, just gets blown up instantly by that Caitlyn. You know he's gotta be hurting. And just no gold. You know you're giving all your camps away to either to the enemy team or towards your own carries at this point in the game. There's nothing left for Zongi really to farm to try and allow himself to tank up and survive for more than a few autos in these team fights.
Man, Zongi, he's had a rough time in this game too right here. At 33 minutes, he is 2 items. 2 items compared to the like 5 and 6 on both of the AD carries. At this point, he goes in just to die. He goes in for that half of a second of CC to hope that Confounder is there to follow up, and if he's not, then it's just another death added onto the score. And at this point, at this amount of deaths, I don't think he's actually worth any gold anymore. So it's okay. You're there for the CC, and that is why you picked Jarvan, especially at this point in the game. And back to the scaling point for Mingos, Caitlyn can fall off, but TJ, he's playing the Vayne. Vayne can definitely match the scaling potential of a Jinx. He's just not at the same CS level. He's not at the same item level quite yet. He does have 4 items. It's just not quite to the level of 6 that Confounder does.
Yeah, I mean, even the big point is that they have 2 AD carries that Capedogs is going to feel like they're going to have to eliminate and really overcommit towards that back line. And with so much disengage here from Nick Swantek on the Morgana again, it's so hard for them to reach that back line and get access. This will be sold. Glacial Mingos can secure it though, so they're looking to set up on this
man.
one early. And this right here might be the last fight of the game if it's an overcommittal from Capedogs.
Could be the last fight of the game. Really, from either team, it is almost 50, maybe even 60-second death spawn timers now. Definitely enough for either one of these Fed 80 carries to just shred through the rest of the towers on the rest of the map. As Dragon is spawned, you see Capedogs going in for the 5v2 in the mid lane, but Chandler just absolutely blows up Zongi once again, two-shotting anyone that even decides to look at him. It is going to be that soul picked up by Mingos and TJ. He gets the GA popped only to be killed immediately after, once again in the ultimate there. Geetlove picking up yet another kill for himself. Now it is going to be a 3v4 in the favor of Capedogs. Yes, you got the soul, but now you have to find the fight afterwards. Nick forced to flash out. Adam does not have that ultimate available. He's going to be instantly blown up by Chandler. Now he has the red buff. He has the Cloud Soul available, and now it is just going to be a Baron power race. Who takes the inhibitors first? Who does more objective damage? And Demon, wow, taken real low there by that ult.
Careful. Gotta watch out for the Gale Force gamer here. Chandler Clark might just look to finish off this Gnar. He's running on forward. He wants this one so bad.
Oh my gosh!
That's overcommittal! The wall!
The wall is huge, but it doesn't matter. Chandler still finds the flash, still has the black shield. Yeetloaf now looking for a flash shot as well, and it's finally going to be Zongi's first kill of the game. 1 and 13 doesn't matter. He got the kill. Now Nick, he does not have flash, he does not have ult, but he does have black shield, so he honestly might kill Demon.
How hard would it be to just put on circus music and let the rest of this game just play out like Salty Timo style? Because that's kind of how it feels. Trading back and forth here. Both AD carriers dying there. An insane play from Chandler to pick up Confounder. And now it's Capedogs looking to start with this Baron. There's no Caitlyn on the map for the next 27 seconds. This could be massive, assuming they can get the rest of their team down here in time to also help this Baron. Keep in mind, TJ Lanier on this Vayne is enough damage to take this one down if Mingos opts to try and go for it. Baron on the map. I mean, it's just a matter of who is going to try and pick this one up. They have the lane states. With mid lane inhibitor also being down, it's much easier for Mingos to try and set something up to quickly rotate over this objective and knock it down with double 80 carry. They have options. I mean, they could put TJ Linear once again back towards this bottom lane, but at this point in the game, if you manage to find that 4 versus 5 fight, get that one pick, it's 50-second death timers. It'll be a Baron, if not your Nexus, if you fall here. And right now, Demon Prince is looking to catch out Adam Suki here. He still has ultimate.
Oh, Adam does find that ultimate is also going to be forced to flash just immediately. At this point, your flash is just going to be used on cooldown now, as well as that echo, which by the way is a very short cooldown. Gabe finds the hook, finds the kill, but unfortunately he's going to be going down immediately after as well, immediately making it a 4v4. But now in bot lane, TJ looking to end the game. He has the wave, he has the damage, he just has to find the damage onto these Nexus tower. This is a battle of just if Yeetloaf is able to walk back to base quick enough. I don't think he's going to be able to. TJ finds the few autos on the Nexus. He doesn't even have a wave anymore, but it doesn't matter. Glacial Mingos taking game 2 against Capedogs.
Yeah, I'll slight spectator bug there at the end, but Glacial Mingos absolutely taking that one again. Give them an inhib and they'll take a mile and your Nexus. As once again just walking through bottom lane. It was TJ Lanier this time. Last game it was a teleport from Nick Swan Tech and a Stand United on top of it to take down the Nexus towers. This time it's just solo. TJ Lanier walks it down bot, brings in the super minions, and just takes out all the towers to find Glacial Mingos their second.
Yeah, that was the back and forth game that I was hoping for. Yes, Mingos have the tiebreaker. They have the 2-0 over Capedogs, but everyone that knows Mingos knows what that means for a game 3. You thought this game 2 was exciting. Boy, am I hyped for game 3.
And we could see a Make a Mingo come out. We could see Rise Jungle. It's really all up to question marks now. As we talked about in pregame as well, that getting 3-0'd here is massive for both these teams. Capedogs really wants this next win. It could knock them down to 8th place in standings with like a 3 or 4 way tie for 6th place right now among so many teams. So you gotta be careful. You gotta find some wins here. We'll have to see if Capedogs unleash, or sorry, that's a light league version. If Capedogs could turn this one around and find a win for themselves in game 3.
Yes, and with that very exciting, very clown fiesta game 2, we will be going to a short break here before, I hope, an equally exciting game 3. Don't go anywhere, we will be right back.